Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to the Case of the Golden Idol, where today, for the first time in the series of the history of the series, I have managed to find some time to record that isn't at like 4 a.m. So I'm hoping that that's going to increase my sharpness somewhat. So I had a quick look over this crime scene, and I think I may have made an error. So I have Alistair Coke jump from the lighthouse, which resulted in his death from a head wound. Which means that I was thinking this guy was Alistair Coke, but I am less certain of that now, because he is holding a letter addressed clearly to him, saying, "Do not toy with the well-being of the Empire's general, for I do not tolerate being attacked." And then there's a flyer in here that clarifies that the general of the Empire is in fact that guy. So it seems unlikely that this is... I'm pretty sure that that's not our Alistair. Which means Nicholas has a list of names. There's not that many people he could be then. Okay, so Dr. James Turner or Sir Walter Keene. Walter Keene's the name of the masked bandit guy, right? Who is not present here? Hold on. What did that guy look like? Oh, well, he's in this one, but he's in a mask. Yeah, this is him, isn't it? I mean, that dude is simply not in the other scene. So he's brunette, he's got hair that's long enough for it to fly back like that. Okay, from this, the portrait is... These are not the same guy. These are two different humans. Like, this guy's skull and this guy's skull are clearly different shapes. But all right, okay, so if that's Walter Keene... All right, hold on. Yeah, wow, like you would never, ever be able to get from this and the shot of that dude from the back that this is supposed to be that guy. Their skin's not even close to the same color. The skull is a completely different shape. I guess his hair is long. It's hard to see here, but it is back there. But the zoom in picture, that's really wild because I feel like it's been really consistent with everybody else. But yeah, almost like they weren't even trying with him. Okay, so if that's Walter Keene, then this guy is Angus McBain or James Turner. Why did I have you marked as Angus McBain? Because you have a thing that says AM on it. I brought back your staff, O Griffin Reborn. And you have a letter addressed to Angus McBain. So I guess the idea is we are supposed to take it that he just stole this stuff from the other guy? It's a little bit of, not that this is something they're not allowed to do, but it is a little bit of like a violation of the game rules so far, which is that, like, you know, they've used this, if I'm carrying a letter addressed to a person, I am that person, as a rule of the game several times so far. We've never seen anybody holding a letter for anybody else, never a letter to be delivered to anybody else or anything like that. So it is definitely like a kind of misdirect that I feel like it's on the borderline of dirty pool. And then that combined with the fact that they forgot to make him look anything like the way that character is supposed to look, I think that produces some reasonable confusion. Or rather, I guess this is actually consistent with two of the other three appearances of him. It's the shot of him from the back that is the one that's wrong. Anyway, so he stole that stuff from this guy that makes this guy Angus? Because he's got half of the staff and the other half is over here, right? The breakages match. Yeah. So wait, I think I have that this guy fell to his death, didn't he? Like he jumped from the lighthouse trying to perform the miracle and it didn't work, was my understanding. Is it actually the case that he just got bludgeoned? The severe wound is at the back of his head. It's not so simple for me to get you a seat alongside me on the court of directors. As a doctor, I recommend you to stop obsessing over it. It will only unbalance your humors. Right, so he's not the doctor. He's not the doctor and he's not the general, and we know the other three people in the scene. Okay. But both of his legs are broken. Like this, the pattern of damage here is way more consistent with he fell. But I guess he jumped off the thing carrying the scepter and just broke it when he landed. I guess so. But okay, so that tells us who he is, though. Because he's not Dr. James Turner, and he's not this guy. He is Angus McBain, and he has just been robbed. So, if that's the case, is this correct? Okay. Yeah, we didn't fill in like almost any of the rest of this. When Lazarus Hurst jumped from the lighthouse and survived using the hidden golden idol, Master Angus McBain thought he had enough information to repeat the miracle and prevent Lazarus from becoming Griffin Reborn. He seized the staff, locked the lighthouse door to prevent foul play, but he does not know how the idol works. It did not work for him, and he jumped to his death. Okay, hold on a second. I want to make sure I actually understand the story of what happened here, though. Like, this part's all pretty obvious, and it's really easy to, like, point at these are the people who did the things in the scene. The only thing that's a little tricky is making sure you have the right names assigned to everybody. So one of you two is Dr. James Turner, and the other one is Alistair Coke, and I don't feel like we have a good sense of that yet. So hold on, what... Master McBain, these threats to contact the Chief Inspector about my past offend me greatly. Being an honest soul... Right, okay. Because this is sincerely Darkhand Steward. He is the only person wearing a steward's coat. And we do know that he was a Darkhand in the last thing, right? So... yeah, he wrote the letter... I've invited Lazarus into our brotherhood, but he has not shared all his secrets with me. Luckily, I had an opportunity to see him practicing this miracle. He has a magical artifact hidden in his cane. When performing the miracle, he input the following glyphs. Then he presses a small lever, and it grants him the powers to demonstrate the miracle. So which spell is that? That is what's in here. I don't remember the spells well enough. Well, he did the miracle of flying, though, right? Aim at the sky, press the lever to maximum, and hold. At this point, it should be... Water works better, but the effect is not as convincing. Oh, right. So what he's doing is he's taking a bunch of air into the idol, and then he's releasing it and like basically like slowing his descent with compressed air. When the other guy tried to do the same thing, it wouldn't work because the idol was empty, and he didn't know to swap this symbol to the other symbol to take something in before performing. Okay, I get it. So we know that it's Angus McBain. Oh, sorry. Don't grab them from here because they're not permanent in this position. We know it's Angus McBain blackmailing Walter Keane to find out how Lazarus Hurst is going to perform the miracle of flying. But Walter Keane, knowing how the staff works, was able to trick him into killing himself, effectively. So people who had the magical relic in their hands chronologically, I know we don't have to fill this stuff out, but So Lazarus had it because Lazarus used it. And then Angus took it and fucked everything up. And then Walter brought it back. It's so weird how finicky it is about pulling stuff from various places. So we still don't actually know which of you is Alistair and which of you is James. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And I do want to know that before we move forward. You have a heavy seal, but I don't know what to do with that. That doesn't mean anything by itself, I don't think. Okay, wait. Who was the doctor? The doctor was... Oh, never mind. He hasn't signed this. We don't know which position he occupied. Water Snake Master. So the Proud Beast Master was Alistair. Okay, Dark Hand, Water Snake, but you have your mask. So there are 2 Proud Beasts and a Water Snake over here. So that makes you a Proud Beast, presumably. No, wait, you're the Water Snake. So are these 2 both Proud Beast Masters? I guess I had kind of assumed that there was only one of each kind of master, because, like, that's what master means. But maybe that's not right. Hold on, am I off here? Oh, wait, yeah, sorry. Lazarus was getting inducted as a Proud Beast. It was Walter Keane and the other guy, the coachman guy, who were both wearing Dark Hand stuff in the last one. So one of these 2 is a Dark Hand, and the other one is a Proud Beast. In my many voyages... So the Empire's General is the Proud Beast, the Doctor is the other one. But that's not enough to actually get us anywhere, right? Yeah, this doesn't actually tell me anything. I don't think. So the masks are not laid out the way they're not like just laid out in the same order as the people across the scene, because Nicholas Maker is the Water Snake. So why do they make it a thing that doesn't matter so hard to figure out? Oh, director of the Seven Seas Trading Company is JT. That's what this is. This is Seven Seas. Okay. I mean, you have to make... That feels like guesswork a little bit. You have to make an assumption there that is not safe to make, and it only makes sense to make that assumption because you know the game will check you. It will tell you if you are wrong or not. Yeah, I don't think I like that so much. Because, that could be it could be there for some other reason. Okay, so, new one. The case of the interrupted weekend at the doctor's salon, here in Chapter 3, The Ascent. Okay, see, I knew it. I knew that was going to be useful, because we get to see these guys again immediately. So this is a fun one. Let's just start to get the hang of this here. First things first, while I remember, Right, it doesn't even put them on there until I look at them. Ha, Leopold, your plan to frame Patu is sublime, but your missing button is more than enough proof that you did it. Constable, please escort this man out. And of course he's got his ruby ring, he's got his doctor's scalpel, he's got a clean small sword. Oh, this is outrageous. I thought you were an honorable man, Leopold, not some Aquitanian agent trying to sabotage our friendly relations with Lemuria and provoke a conflict. I should probably actually remember to click words. So, yep, you've got the seal. You've also got a clean small sword. But mostly I wanted to get you two lit up so that I could put... I have to get the words of your names from somewhere, though. Alright. This is a map of the grounds, I guess. It sure is. Weird. We'll come back out there in a second. Oh, Lord, I did not expect something like this in our household. Slightly grassy garden shears. A lot of attention is being paid to the amount of schmutz that is on people's items here. This is such a mess. However, we will clean the blood out of the rug. Man's looking a little bleary-eyed here. James, this is preposterous. You know damn well that he was killed by that Lemurian savage. Alright, not a huge fan of this dude. He is in fact missing a button. Dear friend, now that the elections are over, please join me for a leisurely weekend at my manor with good old Augustus and some other fine fellows. We'll have some drinks and discuss what to do about that Prime Minister position. Kindly confirm your presence, Dr. James Turner. Did it really not give me the opportunity to click James Turner and get those words? Because, like, he's right there. I would love to put that under him. You also have a clean small sword. Here we've got a bottle of sherry just laying on the ground empty. Full glass and an almost empty glass. Not actually very interesting in my opinion. This is a wild haircut. A wild wig, I guess. He stole his life just like that. The doctor is a smart man since he saw through his lies. Dear friend, at one of the balls, you said that you would love to meet someone actually interesting. I'm having a weekend of drinks at my manor, and a prince from the 11th clan of Lemuria will be joining us. Please do us the honor of your company, too. I hope the host did not notice me when he was leaning over the sleeping eye-patch gentleman. What an odd thing to be saying out loud in this moment, unless we can also read thoughts now, and I guess why wouldn't we be able to? Dear Prince, I heard that you got invited to a party by the director of Seven Seas Company himself. I know you hate associating with these invaders and thieves, but this might be just the opportunity that we seek to reclaim our honor. Dear Prince, as you know, I am a great aficionado of Lemurian culture. It would be my pleasure to invite a member of the Patu clan to spend a leisurely weekend at my estate with some of our own political dignitaries. Yeah, we're just not allowed to click his name anywhere. A clean war cup, a brown stone slate seal. What is the value of the word stone here? Like, don't we know that already from the fact that it's slate? Here we have a bloody boomerang. Not really the kind of thing you would want to kill somebody with. Doesn't seem all that effective. Regardless of that deeply ridiculous episode of Sherlock. Psychoactive plants. The spotty onion will give you an illusion of unity with the universe, increased appetite, and of course hiccups. The black poppy will give you sleepiness, whites of eyes get a pink tint. Some Lemurian lichen will give you hyper concentration on one thing, loss of perception of time, rapid blinking. This is just ADHD. This is how my ADHD manifests. Maybe I've been on Lemurian lichen this whole time. And the red berry, surge of energy, vocalization of all your thoughts. That might be a reason to say a thing like that out loud. Twitching and aggression. Okay, you have that guy's button in your hand. That, a huge vertical wound on his forehead. I mean, that doesn't look like you could do that with that boomerang, unless it's a hell of a lot sharper than it appears to be. Listen, Apologies for the shouting match yesterday. Let's continue our discussion at noon. Leo. Dear friend, the elections are over, so let's uphold tradition and have a leisurely weekend at my place with you and Leopold to discuss the Prime Minister situation. Please join us on May 12th. Constable number 1, Arthur Faulkner. Oh God, believe me, my lord, I do not feel comfortable arresting a prime ministerial candidate, but I must ask you to follow me. Huh, he's already taken testimony, huh? Well, that sucks. This is going to be a huge amount of information. Okay. So Leopold claims that he had a glass of sherry with James in the library and became drowsy. As he was falling asleep, he saw the Lemurian observing him through the glass door. He woke up, found the butler on the floor asleep, woke the butler up, entered the salon, and found the body. Upon inspecting the weapon, deduced that the Lemurian was the murderer and instructed the butler to raise the alarm. Gideon played croquet with Ergen in the morning. They got bored and went to drink tea in the tea house. Ergen drew his attention to the interesting design of the chess house. You know, perfectly normal thing, a whole house for playing chess. Saw Lord Alistair Coke lecture the butler. Saw Master Turner come to the chess house and send the butler away, just as Ergen was remarking on the beauty of the chess house. Saw Lord Alistair leave the chess house and return shortly afterward. I don't think any of that's useful. Slightly difficult to understand what Ergen says, potentially because he has challenges with our language. He claims that everything young Master Bell says is absolutely correct. James claims that he drank a glass of sour sherry with Blanchard in the library in the morning. Then he went to the class house where he found Lord Alistair and the butler, ordered the butler to clean up the library and get rid of the bad sherry, spent the rest of the time playing chess with Alistair until the alarm was raised. As the master of the house, he led the interrogation of the suspects. I guess sherry's an alcohol, isn't it? Does it go sour? Who's this? Alistair. Alistair claims that in the morning he practiced chess at the chess house and educated the butler on his lack of military training. Sometime in the afternoon, Dr. Turner arrived and set the butler away. They played together and he was very close to winning when the alarm was raised. He made sure to point that out. Billiam claims that he planted and pruned all morning by the chrysanthemum bush, saw the young gentleman and the foreigner leave the croquet and go behind the manor. In the afternoon, moved to the rose bush. From there, he saw Lord Augustus leave the fountain around noon. Continued his work on the roses until the alarm was raised by Mr. Hill. And finally, Podrick served Lord Alistair in the chess house in the morning. His master arrived and instructed him to dispose of the spoilt sherry that he and Lord Leopold had drunk, and then go to assist Mr. Spade in the garden. So, Billiam Spade, maybe? On entering the library to take away the glasses, he found Lord Leopold asleep. He suddenly was overcome by dizziness and fainted due to his weak heart. He was woken by Lord Leopold and instructed to raise the alarm, and then saw the deceased lying in the salon. Now, see, this is a really good example of a place where I really wish this was accessible in the UI and that I didn't have to come back to this guy and click on the book every time I want to read those, because I can tell I'm going to want to read them. The seals of the 12 Lemurian clans. Hey, one of them has been boosted. What a surprise. Interesting. Okay. Anything else? Nothing else in here. Let's... James Turner. You are Alistair Coke. Do believe that this is Billiam Spade. Location of each suspect when the body was found. This is a much more classic sort of murder mystery than a lot of the stuff we've seen so far. I don't think we have a first name, any kind of given name for this guy. You are, of course, Arthur Faulkner. All right. Do we know the name of the deceased? We know that you are all bleary-eyed, which means you may have been drugged with the black poppy. Who was it that said they got sleepy? I mean, you got... Okay. Was the first guy? Yeah. Leopold. But... entered the salon and found the dead body. But this is the library. I guess maybe this room... This area is counted as a different room than the one back here. This is the salon. I mean, it could be. I wouldn't necessarily consider these to be different rooms, given that there's just like an open wall between them. Feels like they're two halves of the same room to me. But that would make this fellow Leopold. So we don't have anybody saying anything other than like the deceased, the body. Yeah, nobody's like saying his name. Does complicate things somewhat. It's weird that we can get this outside view from two different places. An unfinished croquet match on a grass field. Chrysanthemum bushes, rose bushes. The London Gazetteer. Will there be, who will be the new Prime Minister? Election results looking pretty good for the New Order Party, which is this guy riding a bird. The New Order Party have the most MPs, but it is clear the two old parties will form a coalition. This means either Loyalist leader Blanchard or moderate leader Valentine will become the Prime Minister, leaving Lazarus Hearst and his party in the opposition. Okay, that is Lazarus Hearst. I was going to say the drawing kind of looks like him, or honestly even Keen with the hair like long enough to be pulled back like that. Well, I don't know if this is actually useful, to be perfectly honest with you. Two cups of spicy smelling tea, spicy smelling tea, one almost empty, the other one untouched, which does jibe with somebody's story, right? Okay, so now that we have a better idea of who's who, let's just go over these people one more time. Leopold is the one with the missing button. Oh yeah, he does have pink eyes too, okay. Sorry, you're the Leopold. Not a lot of actual hard information in these letters, unfortunately. I mean, it certainly would have been easy enough for them to, since they knocked Leopold out, for them to get a button off of his jacket and just put it in the dead guy's hand. You probably will We're also you're more of a, I was a little thrown off because his jacket's a little fancier, but the way he's holding that towel, he's probably help. He's probably like a butler who's just been enjoying a little bit of sherry and black poppy, I guess. So that could be, yeah, this could be the Podrick. On entering the library to take away the glasses, found Lord Leopold asleep, suddenly was overcome by dizziness and fainted due to his weak heart. He had a drink and fell. Okay. So this is Podrick. That leaves just a couple of first names. We have an Augustus. We have a Gideon. Augustus could be a last name, probably. And then Ergen could be Ptu's first name. Difficulty with the language. Nobody else here would obviously have problems with the language. Claims everything young Master Bell says is correct. So, I mean, young Master Bell certainly makes this... I think this is right. Certainly makes it seem like this is probably young Master Bell. So, Blanchard and Valentine are people who were running for office. So not you. These two are Blanchard and Valentine. Do we... The art did... One of them was like chubby with glasses. Moderates. Valentine. Loyalist leader Blanchard with the eye patched. Yep. Okay. Makes sense. So you're a Valentine. And then it's just a matter of... Wait. Who is Hill? Where did we get Hill from? Until the alarm was raised by Mr. Hill. Huh. Had to go assist Mr. Spade in the garden. Right. So you must be Spade. So yeah, Hill is Podrick. Podrick raised the alarm. Okay. I just for a second there totally spaced on the fact that we still had one last name slot left. So we have here a Gideon and an Augustus. But do we know which is which? You are addressed as dear friend. Yeah. I don't feel like I know yet. I sure would like to know. All right, was there another name reference? Let's go through these again really fast. Had a glass of sherry with James in the library and became drowsy. This is Leopold. Okay. Yep. Gideon... Played croquet with Ergen in the morning. Ergen drew his attention to the interesting design of the chess house. Yeah, none of this is useful for this purpose. Went to the chess house where he found Lord Alistair and the butler. Ordered the butler to clean up the library and get rid of the bad sherry. Spent the rest of the time playing chess with Alistair until the alarm was raised. So... Pretty different stories there. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's going to be any first naming here. Well, okay, so like Lord Augustus moved to the Rosebush. From there, saw Lord Augustus leave the fountain at around noon. Augustus is actually a first name, so is it the first name of? Maybe I'm wrong. Well, I guess, sorry, if Augustus is a first name and there's no interview with him, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm wrong. It just means the dead guy is Augustus. Yeah. Okay, that makes life a lot easier. So Augustus Valentine is our victim. I am not confident that the boomerang is the murder weapon. I mean, it's sure... It's sitting right there, and it's certainly made to look like it's the murder weapon. And most everybody else's stuff is clean, right? But okay, so like two things. First of all, fuck that noise. It's a little obvious. It's a little stagey. But if it's not the boomerang, the other answers are club, seal, button, and sherry. So I guess the boomerang is legitimately the murder weapon. You can't make a wound like that with a boomerang, is all. It seems like he was murdered in the salon, and the body was found by Podrick Hill. That's the story we've been told. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't believe it is the thing. So the butler says he was in the salon. Right, because he found the body in the salon. Leopold claims the same. Although I don't think I believe that. Well, maybe. Because, yeah, it was Lord Leopold who woke him and instructed him to raise the alarm. Alistair says he was at the chess house. Apparently, James was also at the chess house, he says. I mean, just putting in what everybody says here is almost certainly going to be wrong. Everything young Master Bell says is fully correct. That doesn't tell us much about Ergen's location at the time, because Master Bell doesn't have anything to say about that. Lord Alistair left the chess house and returned shortly after. Not included in Lord Alistair's story. So the gardener was in the garden. Was working on the flower beds. The prince was, unfortunately, we know not where. I guess it could be as simple as the thing that it looks like. I don't know. It doesn't even really look like that, in my opinion. And the young man... What's his name? Gideon Bell. So Master Turner, come to the chess house and send the butler away. Sure. So it's not actually super clear where they were. It does seem like they were together, though, probably. In the field, maybe? They're just kind of wandering around. This is going to be wrong. So Lord Augustus leave the fountain at around noon. I mean, I think that's consistent with the timeline that we've been able to reconstruct so far. So Leopold claims that as he was falling asleep, he saw the Lemurian observing him through the glass door. Gideon claims the Lemurian was with him, drawing his attention to the design of the chess house, which would have put him on the opposite side of the house. So yeah, I mean, I do think that Leopold sure seems sketchy. And he's very quick to jump to, blaming the minority in the room for the crime very aggressively. But it would appear like, I don't know, I'm kind of assuming, I guess, that James sat on this side and Leopold on that side, just based on where they're standing now. Maybe not, but it would appear that Leopold is the one who actually drank the poison. I mean, he's got the pink eyes, so... Maybe the whole deal here is that Leopold is being framed for this, knocked out, and then framed for murder by this dude. Alright, early in the morning, someone in the place, and verb a noun. What even could that be? Leopold killed Augustus in the salon and verb a noun. Stole a button? Is drugged on here? Yeah. So, like, I do kind of like this idea, right? James Turner drugged Leopold Blanchard in the library and stole a button. And the thing is, even if you haven't figured out that that's what happened here and that it's a frame-up, like, the grammar of this sentence really doesn't give you a ton of options that make sense, given the situation. Meanwhile, in the salon, perhaps, somebody verb somebody and verb a Lemurian something from the thing. Like, this is stole a Lemurian seal. Right? That's the word they used for it? Yeah. As well as both slate and stone. Well, Ergen to in the salon. I mean, it does seem like killed Augustus Valentine and stole the Lemurian seal. In the something at around noon, someone verb someone and verb the thing on him to planted the button on him. again, like the grammatical structure of these these sentences doesn't leave a ton of ambiguity. This room is the salon, right? Yeah, library, salon. Okay. We're just using salon a lot, but it feels to me like it's supposed to be in all of these positions. Yeah, maybe this is... Nope, not that, sorry. This is the moment of killed Augustus Valentine. What is this? Meanwhile, in the salon, Ergen verbs somebody. Drug somebody. Provoke doesn't make sense because it's not actually tensed correctly. In the salon at around noon, someone killed Augustus Valentine and planted the button on him to frame Leopold. And it would have to be James who did it, because James is the one who had the button. What could this be? Ergen 2 killed somebody, drugged somebody, stole somebody doesn't make sense. Frame somebody doesn't make sense. Like, frame and provoke are the only two positive... Or the only two present tense. So that doesn't work here. So the word we're looking at is killed, stole, drugged, or planted. Which is to say that it must be either drugged or stole. Maybe Ergen drugged... the butler? Because the butler is a little drugged, right? This doesn't make any sense, though. The butler drugged himself. It's just like there's no... It feels like this part of this sentence is just not supposed to be here. Because this is a whole story of what happened. Otherwise, I don't know that it's the right story. But it is a whole story without this clause, and also this clause makes no sense. James Turner... Because, like, what if it's Ergen Patu killed Augustus Valentine up here? Then what does this one become? James Turner... We have the same problem here. We're like drugged, stole. It could be the case that James Turner drugged Podrick. Well, I guess we know it's not that because this would be reported as only missing two things. It's very strange. It's a very strangely constructed set of sentences that really does not leave you with a lot of options. Oh, the body wasn't found by Podrick. Sorry. Or at least, that's not the story as we have it. The body was found by Leopold. The boomerang actually is the murder weapon, despite the fact that that's madness. It's interesting that this one, there are at least three things wrong. Yeah, I think there's a dimension of this that I don't quite have yet. Let's go back over the clues one more time quickly. Yeah, there's no reason to think you're guilty. You look like you've been drugged. Do any of these other drugs here... Wait, what was it Patu was saying? Hope the host did not notice me when he was leaning over the sleeping eye patch gentleman. I hope the host did not notice me when he was leaning over the sleeping eye patch gentleman. Well, that's when he was stealing the button, right? And did not notice me taking this thing. I mean, Alistair is awfully, like, on the offensive. So maybe he's trying to cover something up. Maybe he is responsible in some way. I don't know. All right, well, there is an element to this that I am missing, but also... I think maybe this is a good time for a break so I don't just sit here staring at this. Probably not the most scintillating entertainment on Earth. That's going to be it for us for today, and thank you all so much for watching. I feel like I'm really close to cracking this one. There's one little something that I'm missing here that's going to unravel the last piece of this, grammatically speaking. And I mean, once we're there, we're basically done. So come back next time for that, and moving on to the next set of cases. And we'll see you then.